The footage was never meant to be seen by the public, but once it surfaced, it ignited a firestorm that spread across social media and newsrooms around the world. According to reports now circulating widely, CCTV cameras installed for routine security purposes may have captured evidence of a previously undisclosed transaction involving Meghan Markle and members of royal security. What began as a quiet internal review has escalated into a full-blown public controversy, raising urgent questions about transparency, protocol, and trust at the highest levels of the royal orbit. If you found this report insightful, take a moment to reflect on how celebrity culture shapes health trends and why responsible conversation matters. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for more in-depth coverage that goes beyond the headlines and keeps you informed as these stories continue to unfold. Share this video, leave your thoughts in the comments section. Sources familiar with the matter say the footage in question comes from security cameras located near a restricted access area used by royal protection officers. The recordings allegedly show interactions that do not align with officially documented schedules or disclosed security arrangements. While no criminal charges have been announced, the mere suggestion that there were undisclosed dealings has been enough to trigger intense scrutiny, particularly given the long-running debates surrounding royal security funding and accountability. According to individuals briefed on the situation, Meghan Markle was reportedly informed about the existence of the footage only after an internal review flagged inconsistencies between official logs and visual records. Those same sources describe her reaction as one of deep frustration and anger, arguing that the footage has been misinterpreted and stripped of essential context. Meghan's representatives have not denied that interactions took place but insist that any exchanges were lawful, routine, and related strictly to personal security concerns. The controversy arrives at a sensitive time. Discussions around royal protection have long been contentious, especially since Prince Harry and Meghan stepped back from official royal duties. Public debate has centered on who should pay for security, what level of protection is appropriate, and whether private arrangements blur the line between personal and institutional responsibility. This latest development has reopened those arguments, with critics claiming the footage suggests arrangements that were never fully disclosed to the public. Royal insiders caution against jumping to conclusions. They emphasize that security operations often involve confidential movements and financial arrangements that cannot be publicly detailed without compromising safety. From this perspective, the CCTV footage alone, stripped of accompanying documentation, may tell an incomplete story. Still, the fact that the recordings exist, and that they appear to contradict formal records, has fueled demands for clearer explanations. Legal analysts observing the situation note that CCTV evidence can be powerful but also misleading. Camera angles, missing timestamps, and lack of audio can all distort reality. Several experts have stressed that without full access to logs, authorizations, and internal correspondence, it is impossible to determine whether the interactions captured on video represent misconduct or routine security coordination. Nevertheless, they acknowledge that public perception often forms long before formal findings are released. The palace has responded cautiously. In a brief statement, officials confirmed that an internal review is ongoing and that no conclusions have been reached. They reiterated that security matters are handled with strict confidentiality and that selective leaks can undermine both safety and fairness. The statement did not mention Meghan Markle by name, nor did it address the specific claims about transactions or payments, a silence that has only intensified speculation. Supporters of Meghan argue that the narrative unfolding in the media fits a familiar pattern. They point out that she has frequently been the subject of stories that rely heavily on anonymous sources and partial information. In their view, the CCTV footage is being framed in the most damaging way possible, without due consideration of alternative explanations. They also question how and why such sensitive security footage found its way into the public conversation at all. Critics, however, see the situation differently. They argue that if there were undisclosed financial or logistical arrangements involving royal guards, the public has a right to know, particularly if public resources were involved. For them, the issue is not personal but institutional, touching on broader concerns about accountability and the use of authority behind closed doors. As the debate rages, attention has also turned to the royal guards allegedly involved. Security professionals are bound by strict codes of conduct, and any suggestion of unauthorized dealings could have serious consequences for their careers. Associations representing security personnel have urged restraint, warning that premature judgments could unfairly damage reputations before all the facts are known. Behind the scenes, investigators are reportedly working to piece together a fuller picture. This includes reviewing financial records, security schedules, and authorization chains to determine whether the interactions captured on CCTV were properly approved. Those close to the process say the review is meticulous and slow, reflecting the high stakes for everyone involved. Meghan Markle's camp maintains that the controversy reflects a broader failure to respect privacy and due process. They argue that the release or discussion of CCTV footage related to security is itself problematic and could set a dangerous precedent. From their standpoint, the focus should be on how confidential material is handled, rather than on speculative interpretations of incomplete evidence. Public reaction has been sharply divided. Online platforms are awash with commentary, some expressing outrage, others calling for patience. Media outlets have been careful, often emphasizing that allegations remain unproven. Yet the sheer volume of coverage has ensured that the story remains in the spotlight, regardless of the lack of definitive conclusions. What is clear is that this episode underscores the fragile relationship between public figures, the institutions that protect them, and the public that scrutinizes them. In an era where surveillance is ubiquitous and leaks can travel instantly, even routine actions can be transformed into controversies with global reach. As the internal review continues, many questions remain unanswered. What exactly do the CCTV recordings show? Were all procedures followed correctly? And how will the findings, whatever they may be communicated to a public already primed for controversy? Until those answers emerge, speculation is likely to continue. For now, the situation serves as a reminder of how quickly narratives can form in the absence of complete information. Whether this story ultimately proves to be a misunderstanding, a procedural failure, or something more serious will depend on evidence that has yet to be fully examined and released. We will continue to follow this developing story closely, bringing you verified updates as they become available. If you want to stay informed, hear multiple